Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, my name is Vale and I am a mental health advocate. I share my journey with anxiety and depression in hopes to help you. If you want to hear more, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Today I'm going to talk about addiction, more specifically the vaping epidemic. I don't know about you guys, but I started seeing vapes in everyone's hand at the end of 2020. So pretty much post-pandemic shutdown. There was this one week in October that my girlfriend and I got invited to a boat party and everyone had a vape in their hand. And then that same week, we met up with some old friends and at least 2 people in that group had a vape in their hand. And then that exact same week, I went on a date with a guy and he had a vape too. It was like from one day to the next, everyone was hooked. I knew about how addicting vaping was already because my little brother was addicted. And when I was 18 back in 2014, I did buy an e-cigarette at a Walgreens, but that compared to what is marketed nowadays is nothing compared. The vapes that are sold now are 5%, and that is such a high level for nicotine. And plus, the really fruity flavors of it and the minty flavor of anyone can get hooked. Now, I know no one wants to admit that they're wrong, let alone that they have a problem. And when the problem is addiction, admitting that to yourself is even more difficult. The I can stop when I want goes out the window because if you could, you would have already. So if you ask me, where do I start? The answer is be honest with yourself. Bring awareness that you have a problem. You don't have to tell other people. It could be a self-talk that you admit, yes, this is a problem and I don't want to have this problem. I am so happy to say that I am officially 6 months vape free. That's 6. My last hit was May 31st, 2022. I tried to quit over 10 times in the course of 2 years, and then maybe an additional 10 times that I don't count because it only lasted 2 hours, so technically I didn't even quit. I was so addicted to the point I felt I was hitting the vape more than I was inhaling oxygen. To put it in perspective, I was vaping in my sleep. Now, I know I'm not the only one that does that. When you are really addicted, I know you've done it. It was just that bad. Every time I would try to quit, I would do some research and I would get some tips and it would help for a little bit. And the max I stayed without vaping was 2 days. And then I would fall back into it. I would give up on it. I finally got really serious about this goal when I started my personal development journey. I knew having this addiction was making my anxiety worse, setting me back on my growth, and causing a big dent in my budget. I wanted to be strong enough to let it go, and I finally decided to challenge myself. So I'm gonna tell you how I quit vaping and also share some tips that I wish I knew before I quit, because girl, the withdrawals, it was hard. So the first step is find your why. Why do you want to quit? Why is quitting so important to you? For me, it was my mental and physical health. Not only was my anxiety at new levels from feeling like I was missing something all the time, aka the nicotine, but also my left lung started wheezing and I was having a hard time breathing, equaling more anxiety. The second step is set a quit date. Or for myself, I set I want to be vape free by this date. That same day, I decided I had enough. There wasn't even the thought of, oh, just one more hit. No, the last hit that I had taken prior to getting really clear about this goal, that was the last one. I wanted to be vape free by my little brother's death anniversary, which was a month and a half out. He was actually the one that got me into vaping. He bought me my first vape, and towards the end of his life, he really wanted to quit, but it was so hard for him. This date had such a big meaning because I wanted to honor him that way and find the strength that he couldn't so that he could live that accomplishment through me. So make sure you set a date that will hold you accountable, that is important to you. It could be your birthday, it could be your mom's birthday, it could be a vacation that you're gonna plan and you're looking forward to that, and that's gonna be your reward, because overcoming addiction is huge and you should be so proud of yourself once you get to that date. So here's the challenge. Challenge yourself to feel the desire but not give in. Breathe through it and see where it hurts. Where in your body is the pain and what's the emotion there? And remembering, just like everything else, it's temporary. That craving, it will pass. And trust me, I know when you have that craving, you feel like it's never gonna pass. Like you need to satisfy that craving. But trust me, it does go away. It's just a temporary feeling just in that moment. And once you breathe through it and you overcome it, you're back to normal. You're back to that feeling as if you did satisfy it. And it will come in waves, but each time make sure to pat yourself on the back. It really helped me with my self-talk because I constantly had to be telling myself, good job, you did it, because the craving was so frequent. And eventually it got easier and easier. So if you want, you can make your why statement into a formal intention and write it out. You can have it on a sticky note on your mirror, on the bathroom mirror, in the kitchen. Just have all these sticky notes. Or you can also keep a journal, and every time you get an urge, just write down what you're feeling. So of course, my intention was that I wanted to do it for my mental and physical health, and also to honor my little brother. So now this is a perfect time to practice the cognitive behavioral therapy. What does your self-talk look like? A really common one for every addict, I feel, is the just one hit. So just one hit, no one will know, but you'll know. And I'll just start next month. But remember, the longer you keep an addiction, the harder it's gonna be to quit. So if it's hard right now, imagine how difficult it's gonna be next month or next year. Because the longer you keep it going, the more you're building up that addiction. And overall, sticking to your word, it builds confidence. And every time you resist that urge and you find the strength within yourself, it builds up your confidence because you are staying true to what you said you were going to do. And every time you overcome that craving, acknowledge it. Say, wow, the feeling is gone. I feel great. I'm okay. I'm fine. I didn't die. Literally, even though you feel like you might die when you're in the middle of that craving, but it passes. And yeah, as I stated, writing down positive affirmations for yourself and put them on a sticky note all over your house. It doesn't matter. It's just gonna be for a little bit. And that's what really helped me, having those affirmations, and specifically the I am statements. So anytime I would get that feeling, I would remind myself, I am not a person that vapes. I am not a person that is addicted. I am not a person that is controlled by a substance. Overall, the self-talk was the most important thing because it becomes an internal self-battle. Your mind will try to convince you that you need this. Like, you were born without nicotine. You were born without vaping. You don't need that. You don't need anything but water, food, and oxygen. Period. And maybe shelter. So now we're going to talk about the withdrawals. You need to prepare for the withdrawals. So besides the chemical aspect of the addiction, there is also the mouth fixation, which I had that. I was very addicted also to the mouth fixation of it. So lollipops, pretzels, gum, anything that can keep your mouth entertained. And also you can get a fake vape that has 0% nicotine. And that's actually what I did and really helped me. You can go to any smoke shop and they sell it there. Just ask them for a vape with 0% nicotine. And that at least eliminates one part of the addiction, the physical part of the addiction. So obviously the first week is going to be the hardest. And specifically for myself, it was day 2 and day 5 that it hurt. It hurt. It really, really hurt. And day 5 really sucked because I had 2 beers at a movie night with some friends, and woof, alcohol makes you want to vape more. And I literally felt like I had ants crawling on my legs. It was so bad. I had to try to massage my legs because it was like little needles just going all over my legs. But when the urge is that intense, you breathe through it. Remind yourself that it will pass, even if it feels like it won't. It's painful, but choose to be with the pain, and you'll see it's gonna go away. It will go away. You won't feel the ants, and you won't feel the withdrawal symptom will pass. And of course, there's other withdrawal symptoms like increased sweating, irritability, so mood swings. And with that, I want to say it is so important that you communicate to the people in your life that you're going through this. It's going to be a difficult time period, but if they could please be a little more patient with you and have them understand along with yourself that you're not going to always be like this. It's an external part that is not a part of you. It's an addiction. And I highly suggest that you don't plan any outings or any big events during this time period because it's a time to be with yourself. It's like a mini retreat with yourself. Try to stay away from any club scenes or anything that really involves alcohol or other people that are vaping because just more temptation. The more temptation you have in your life, the harder it's going to be. And don't get me wrong, I live with 2 other addicts and I am surrounded with other friends that have this problem, but I communicated with them, hey, this is a challenge that I'm going through. I would just appreciate it if you didn't do this as often in front of me, or please don't blow it in my face. because secondhand vaping is a thing. So yeah, overall, as far as the relationships in your life, you need that support, and communicating how people can support you is super important. And then everything else is up to you. You have the strength to do it. You just need to commit and decide to challenge yourself and see it through. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's the same handle. I'm gonna put it right here. And I'll be sharing on there any additional tips that I have to help with addiction and quit vaping. And yeah, so if you want to see more of me, go ahead and follow me there. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And please like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much.